Shifting focus now to some more information that is coming in. Tensions flared today outside the Bangladesh High Commission in London, where a large protest by Indian and Bangladeshi origin Hindus highlighted ongoing violence against religious minorities in Bangladesh. More than 500 demonstrators gathered peacefully, chanting Hindu Lives Matter and demanding justice for recent lynchings, including garment worker Dipu Chandra, as well as protection for Hindus amid reports of escalating attacks. The protest also called for the release of detained Hindu monk Chinmoy Krishna and urged global action against what organizers described as targeted persecution. However, the demonstration was disrupted when a small group of around 10 pro-Khalistan activists arrived waving flags, shouting anti-India slogans and expressing support for Bangladesh. Reports indicate brief scuffles broke out, with one Khalistani organizer confronting protesters before British police intervened to separate the groups and restore order. Eyewitnesses and organizers expressed surprise at the counter-protest, noting that it appeared unrelated to the core issue of minority rights in Bangladesh. This comes days after another group of Khalistanis hijacked a peaceful Nagar Kirtan in New Zealand. So those are the details that we're picking up with regards to this story. I have with me Gautam Mukherjee, senior journalist, joining us on the broadcast. So thank you for joining us. We're of course taking a look at this very shocking incident, in fact, that has taken place in London, where a peaceful protest advocating for Hindu lives and minorities in Bangladesh has devolved into a situation where Khalistani separatists they have arrived over there and tried to disturb the peace, tried to raise slogans that are against India, raise anti-India and anti-Hindu slogans. How do you view this situation? And it is not the first time that such a situation is taking place in the country as well. So how can we address this diplomatically with the United Kingdom?
Well, I think protest is in order, but in addition to that, you must note that the mayor of London is of Pakistani origin, which kind of makes the police more sympathetic to the Khalistani cause. And here the Khalistanis are siding with Bangladesh, who have been murdering various innocent Hindus, and when the Hindus in London tried to protest, the police chased them away. So all in all, it is a distorted situation in Britain and in London in particular.
Well, sir, also when we take a look at these protests that are occurring not just nationwide here in India, but we saw protests in Nepal, and now we're seeing support for minorities in Bangladesh, for Hindus in Bangladesh, in London as well. How do you see this gathering, this unity of support when we take a look at all of these horrific incidents that have occurred over the past few weeks, if not years?
Yes, it is barbaric, and it is something that the Hindus are spontaneously protesting against. It's happening in West Bengal, which is very interesting because, again, the government of West Bengal is very pro-Muslim and pro-Bangladeshi. However, the ordinary people are upset and are protesting. This is also happening in other parts of India and around the world. Bangladesh is out of control. It is in chaos. The Islamists are busy trying to take over, and the political system is breaking down along with the economy.
Absolutely, sir. And you know, we'd earlier also taken a look at this report that has just been released by the Human Rights Congress for Bangladesh Minorities, which is an advocacy group which is working out of Bangladesh itself. And in its report, it stated that, you know, these crimes against the minorities were on a rise in the country, with at least 71 such incidents documented between June and December 2025. So in just a 7-month period, there have been 71 incidents of violence against minorities in Bangladesh, and these incidents particularly target the Hindus living over there. So when we take a look at all of these we have figures in front of us clearly documenting the sort of fear and insecurity that minorities have to live in Bangladesh. How can we address this with the country? There are elections coming up as well for Bangladesh. Do you think that India might be able to deal with the country a bit better, or how can we address this when it comes to looking from a diplomatic perspective?
Well, as far as the Islamists are concerned, they want to create enmity against India because they're also backed by the Pakistan ISI and the army. As far as the BNP goes, that is Khalida Zia's party, and her son has just returned to Bangladesh after 17 years in exile. He has spoken of a more inclusive Bangladesh. Now, BNP is a mainstream party in Bangladesh, and if they win the next elections, as opposed to the Islamic radicals, then some semblance of order and good behavior against the minorities, as well as mending of fences with India, may well occur. They have seen to it that the Awami League is banned from contesting elections. So the BNP is the big white hope.
Well, sir, thank you so much for joining us and speaking to us about this incident that is taking place in London. We'll of course continue to track more updates for you, but for now we'll slip into a very short break. We'll be right back.